Going live. Hey, we're live. Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. It is Monday night, and welcome to SoulPet. So good to see you guys here. All right, let's make sure we got everything looking okay tonight. Everything is looking good. Wow, looking at the comments already. You guys are really having some discussion going back and forth. Fantastic. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, for those of you who may be joining me for the very first time, my name is Elaine. I'm an animal Reiki master and animal chaplain. And no, that doesn't mean I do pet weddings. It's more of the other side, helping animals who are and their families when their animal companions are ready to cross. And also an animal medium. So I love to make connections with our animal companions on the other side. And that includes tonight a reading for Pudge. So spent a little time with Pudge this afternoon, Pat, and I can't wait to share with you some of the information that came through. So SoulPet. SoulPet is a channel dedicated to all of those who have experienced pet loss, wherever you may be on your journey, in your journey of grief, whether it is so fresh and new that you can't even think about it, or it's something that's years old. This is the channel where we support you. You can see through the comments that we give virtual hugs. We hold everybody in this beautiful space, and we connect with our animal companions and talk about our beautiful animal companions and share stories. I feel like I know them. I feel like I know your beautiful animal companions. And tonight's topic is going to be about how do we heal the final moments, when those final moments are something that we keep replaying in our mind over and over and over again, whether it was traumatic or just something that we're feeling guilty about or not sure that we made the right decision. How do we let go of that that record that we have on repeat, that story that is on repeat, and how do we heal that to help us move on so that we can have beautiful connections with our animal companions on the other side? But first, if you like live streams, then hang out. We are going to say hello to all of our channel members, and then we'll say hello to some of the other folks who have already joined us. I love to answer questions first that are in our little chat box. So if you want to get right to the topic, you might want to skip ahead at least 5 minutes or so if you want to get right into the topic of healing those final moments. Okay, so let's say hello. First of all, hello to all my channel members. Pat, great to see you here. Always the first in line. Love it. You are inspiration, bud. Thank you for letting me connect with Pudge, because fingers crossed. We'll tell the story of Pudge and how he came through for Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, just 2 weeks ago. So hello to Pat, and hello Dana. It's good to see you. And I'll get to all the comments in just a minute. Jody, nice to see you also. Kali, fantastic. Good to have you here. I saw a little comment from you, Kali. We'll get to that in just a second. Caroline, it's good to see you. Good to have you here. And there's Kathy H. We'll see if we come up with Kathy R. Sharon, awesome to have you here also. And I'll say hello to anybody else. Oh, there's Cheryl. Ms. None, your New York business. It's great to see you too. All right, let's see. Who else have I missed? Anybody? I kind of flew through those. No. Okay, so then let's go back to say hello to everybody else. Charlie, it's good to see you here. Charlie, I see you and Pat have been talking back and forth. That's the way we support each other here. I always have a topic to share, and then I trust you guys to go ahead and share amongst yourselves. It's totally cool. That's the purpose of the live stream, is to be able to connect with each other and to be able to talk about things, not just me talking at you, but to talk with each other. I wish it could be more interactive. I'm going to get to the Zoom in just a minute. But let me just say hello to Charlie again, and anybody else. Is there anybody else here who's not a channel member that I did not say hello to? Oh, Z, I missed you. Hello, Z. It's good to see you. All right. Let's get to some of the comments here, and then we'll get on. And a lot of them are probably related to this topic, but let's see what we've got. Kali, I saw that thing about Ozzy. Can you imagine if you didn't have Ozzy? I think I saw some more comments after that, but Ozzy was like, he was your guardian. He was your protector. So that's so cool. All right. Yep. So we're doing the reading. I'm looking at Pat's comments. Do any of my siblings practice Reiki too? Oh, no. I am the oldest of 4 girls. The other 3 think that I've gone nuts. And that is what it is. I don't ever expect my family to fully understand where I'm at, and I'm okay with that. Everybody's on their own journey, and oh no, my siblings, no, doesn't happen. But the family there's the family that we're born with and the family that we choose. And then I have lots of Reiki practitioners and Reiki masters with me. Okay, so let's see what else Pat has to say. I feel guilty over my bulldog Droopy's death. He developed a cough. All right, so we're going to talk about that as part of because you planned on taking him to the vet the next day. He passed away later in the day, which was on a Sunday. That is actually more common than you know for our animal companions to wait till the weekend or when it is their time that they seem to orchestrate the timing so that we can't intervene. If our animal companion is ready to cross, they will find a way to make it happen. And sometimes that's what causes us the trauma and the grief that we're going to talk about, that thing that we keep playing over and over again in our mind. Um, I played over and over again for Jack. There are things that aren't, it's human. It's a very human thing that we do, but yeah, they orchestrated. I'm certain of this, that they orchestrated sometimes so that we can't have an intervention. Should have taken him in the week and not waited. I'm going to hopefully be able to answer that question for you and give you some suggestions, not just Pat, but anybody who's gone through that experience. I should have taken him in earlier. I should have recognized this. I should have seen it. I should have put life on hold and made my animal companion the priority. There's ways to get past that because in the end, I just had this conversation with someone earlier this week who felt that she was making a decision like, is that playing God? We can't play God. Whatever your religious beliefs happen to be, whatever your personal spiritual beliefs happen to be about a higher power, a creator, a divinity, whatever you want to call that higher power, that energy of higher power. I'm not coming up with the right words. We can't play God because we are not God, and only God, I'm using that word just for ease of use, only God can play God. So there's nothing that we can do that would take that decision away from our animal companion and our animal companion's creator. So there's something for there too. As humans, we seem to remember the bad times. Oh, yes, we do, right? And sometimes it flips. Like sometimes I have memories that I only have fond memories of, and someone will say to me, "But don't you remember the time when?" And I think, no, I choose not to remember that. I love to remember that good. But when it comes to something that we're holding ourselves responsible for, yeah, we can chew on it and stew on it for a long time. I'm going to just scroll down. Charlie, I'm just going past your comments for a couple minutes because I want to make sure that I hit all of our channel members first. Dana, I was thinking when I would have time to go through all the, oh, that's because Pat made a comment. I scrolled past that, Pat. I know it was here. I should write a how-to reference book and sell it on Amazon like some other communicators do. I know that I should, and I probably could. I have many publications. I keep them all as PDFs so that they can be interactive. I keep them as, so I love to do color illustrations. I love to include links to video demonstrations. I love to include all the things that you can't include in an Amazon book or that you can't include on an ebook that's on Kindle. So I do have to figure out a way to do that. I just haven't devoted myself to that yet. I keep saying that I will, but it hasn't happened yet. But I also believe in divine timing. So when the time is right, that will happen. In the meantime, that leads me to all of my beautiful channel members, letting you know that if you would like to, I'll post as I always do in the community post. I'll give you a series of dates and times to pick from where we can have not just a mediumship circle, but a mediumship workshop. And the word mediumship is off-putting. We think of something really theatrical. I always joke about, tambourines shaking in the air and tables lifting off the ground. This is about actually being able to connect with our animals on the other side. And I can put it all together into a little thing. And then you can ask live questions. We do these things for channel members on a Zoom so that we get to see each other face to face. And then we can ask real-time questions and get real-time answers and really dive into it deeper and explore a little bit deeper. So maybe, well, not maybe, I do want to publish a book and actually have it published. It seems daunting to me how to do it. Every time I try to see how to do it, my eyes just kind of glaze over. But I will trust that all of our beautiful animal companions will start to they're already orchestrating, they're already putting all the puzzle pieces together so that can come together for me. So Dana, I will post and we'll try to, because you are in a time zone. I think I should be able to make it work. And you can always, guys, reach out to me. Now I know my emails have become overwhelming. I'm a one-person shop, and I get so many emails that literally makes my eyes glaze over. I look at my emails and go, oh, okay, maybe tomorrow. So there has to be a way, I'm certain, to be able to get channel members just to be able to communicate with me one-on-one. But in the meantime, if there is a really important question that you have that you want me to go back and take a look at with you on, send me an email, but I mean, in giant bold letters, Elaine, important question, channel member, anything. Sometimes also your handles are different than your names. So like Ms. Nunya New York Business, and then there was me there, right? And then there was me. They're different. And I don't always remember. I try to remember, but I don't always remember. Somebody reminded me recently who they are. And I was like, oh, that's who you are. I made the connection. But anyway. Let's see what else. What other comments do we have? Had a scary night. Ozzy woke me up. Oh, that we talked about that already. Yep, that's amazing. Police checked and did patrols. Happened after 2 a.m. Ozzy, hero, absolute hero. How else could you have gone to sleep? I couldn't have. I wouldn't have been able to go to sleep. My dogs, especially Jack, a yellow lab, didn't ever bark. I've never heard a dog that didn't bark. It wasn't his thing. He didn't bark. He didn't make noise. He was quite content. He was an old soul, much like Pudge. He was an old soul. And when he did bark, or if he growled, I knew instantly that something was up, that there was trouble. And that could have been anything. He warned us, not that we needed protection, but when I was living on the mountain in my RV, we were at the top of a mountain in the Rockies. So all the wildlife, I completely understood that I was the one living in their home. I asked, I was invited, and we respected every bit of their space. But one night, Jack started growling, and he was growling deep in his throat. And right away, it was like, uh-oh, something can't be good. And we looked out the window, and it was a mama bear and her two cubs. And it was beautiful. Jack just wasn't aware. He didn't know. He's never seen a bear before. So it was kind of cool that it alerted him and he alerted us. But then we went on to share that space with mama cub and her two baby cubs for a long time. Charlie, thank you so much. I'm going to come back to your comments in just a second. And on and on. Okay, so we are. Nico is a fan. Kathy Reynolds, there you are, Kathy R. Do it when you're ready. Oh, there's a message retracted. Okay, so I'm not sure what that was. Because it has gone away, but that's okay. All right. I would buy your book. Ask Lucy, she will guide you. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. It's good to see you. Hey, I didn't say hello to Sherry either. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would love to. I've got to make it happen, right? I've just got to make it happen. Okay. I don't want to get too off track. Now that you mentioned emails, just telling you that I will wait patiently for your reply. Okay. Thank you for your patience. I appreciate it. Let's go back to see what Charlie has to say. Charlie says, okay, she resonates with, what resonates with what? As, I guess feeling guilty, remembering the bad times. Anxiety and trauma also scared my dog. That's very true, Charlie. Our animal companions are so in tune with us. I've shared this many times before, but I don't know who they is, the mysterious they. They did a study at the University of Monash, Monash. It's in Australia. And what they did was measure heart rates. So they measured the heart rates of dogs and the heart rates of their human companions. So they measured this specifically. It was a test for how much we stress our animal companions. When we come home from work and we've been through a hard day at work, we've let all those external stressors get us out of balance. We then commute home and we walk through the door in a stressed out state. Within 1 minute, dogs their heart rate matched ours. So if we were stressed out, they within 60 seconds became stressed out. And the goal was then, before you even walk through your door, no matter what kind of day you've had, check it at the door. And you just take a few deep breaths, you calm yourself, relax yourself. And the way you can do this is not ignoring, not saying, well, I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. It's remembering that your family member, your dog, cat, or other animal that shares your home is more important. And so you just count to 10, you take a nice deep breath, and then you walk through the door. And then the opposite thing happens. Within 1 minute, a person's heart will then calm to the state of their dog, and then both people can be calm. So that I learned from the Heart Math Institute, a very prestigious, recognized, scientifically recognized organization that measures this kind of thing, that measures the coherence between our brain and our heart. And I think that they miss an important part, which is our gut. But they measure that coherence and teach ways to help us regain that balance between so many spiritual practices and meditation and yoga and Reiki talk about how to bring yourself back into center and balance. Heart Math Institute does it in a way that people in the West can go, oh, that's not hairy fairy. I get it. I can take a few deep breaths and feel myself regulate and go back into balance. All right. So I think Nico wants me to work on my heart. Always, that's a great place. Charlie, go to the Heart Math Institute. It's just one of those places that is wonderful. And another person is Greg Braden. I talk about Greg all the time. I look forward to the day that I can meet the man in person. He has given me so much inspiration about how to balance our heart space, because it applies to being able to connect to our animals on the other side. When we are coming from a place of our heart, the single strongest energy field of it has a measurable electromagnetic field. Scientists and surgeons, neuroscientists have discovered now that our heart actually has as many receptors, if not more receptors, probably just different receptors than our brain. So it's like a mini brain that is located in our heart. And when our heart is out of alignment and out of order, so is that it just sends all those receptors to the rest of our body that cause us to feel out of sorts. So we bring it back into balance. Heart is a great place to focus. I'm going to keep on reading a little bit quicker so that I can get to this. I have so much stuff here and I want to make sure that I can get to it all. Yelled a lot on the phone. Oh, the doom scrolling, right? So Charlie, I think what you have brought up is a really good point, in that we spend so much of our life in a stressed out state that it stresses out our animals. I teach this in Reiki classes, and I've recently been leading Reiki classes for just the average person with pets, not anyone who's like deep into the metaphysical work. I do it as a way as offering a holistic alternative to being able to be an active participant in your animal companion's life. And part of that is learning that we have got to let go of this stress. We stress ourselves out. Stress is truly artificial. And we could get into a whole different discussion about that. But when we are stressed out, we stress our animal companions out. And doom scrolling, that's become like something in that there's a word called zeitgeist. And zeitgeist is the collective, like, when all the women decide that they're going to start wearing skirts instead of shorts or whatever, when everybody decides that it's, a certain coffee or a certain drink or a certain something, and everybody has to do it. That is the zeitgeist. And there is something going through the zeitgeist right now about doom scrolling. And I think it's good, because it is that doom scrolling, it directly impacts our animal companions, and it also directs our ability to connect with our animals on the other side, because they could give a flying F about any of that. It's so artificial, and it is aimed at getting us to keep doing this. It's aimed, right? So we just keep on doing this and keep on doing this, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and then this one, and then this one, and the next thing crops up. And it is meant to keep you looking at your screen. And what it does is, besides rot your brain, it leaves you in a constant state of stress. And we go to sleep like that, and we wake up like that. So thank you for bringing that up, because if we can recognize it and understand that we're being manipulated and take back the control, this is my device. It's not anybody else's. I remember a time, I've told this story before, it was like back in the 90s, and I used to make a joke when I would see, there was these giant honking phones, and you'd see somebody walking down the street talking on their phone, and I would think to myself, "Get a life." Yeah, and now we're all tied to these things. So, I think that there's gonna be a shift there. I think that there's more and more people, especially the younger generation, are recognizing the anxiety and the stress and the, whatever that causes. So what does it have to do with animals and connecting on the other side? Because it stresses when we're stressed out, they're stressed out. And when we are stressed out, it makes it harder to see through the veil. If what we're talking about is the quantum field, and it is the quantum field of all things, where we can access any information, which is where our animal companions, soul, energy, and spirit is in that quantum field, when we are stressed, it's very difficult to access. So, anyway, that's way off topic because I really, really, really want to get to our final moments with our animal companions. Um, I would have actually seen and heard him. Yeah, and that's true too, Charlie. And I think that's to Pat's point also. I have been there myself, that I shared just last week, that I would redo it entirely for Lucy and Jack. Jack and Lucy spent so much time alone when I was in my corporate job, um, and I didn't think twice about it. And it was not, and it was. I did not come into this awakening till they were probably they would be considered seniors. I wanna say they were probably like, 8 or 9 when I realized what I was doing, and that's when we actually moved and took them to this beautiful place in the mountains, which they absolutely loved. But I would do it all different because I did not pay attention to their nutrition. I did not pay attention to their life. I did not give them the benefit of expressing what they wanted and what they wanted to do and what their little personalities were. I would do it all differently, even though the last years of their life, we had an amazing life. But in the beginning, I would do something different in the beginning. It's the same thing. We would have seen, heard, we would have understood them more. We would have been more in touch with them. And that's okay. It's something that you don't have to go back and dwell on and regret and feel guilty about, because they don't remember that. When we talk about this, our animals remember something totally different, totally different. And what they're helping us do now, just like Sherry said to me, go ask Lucy, my Lucy on the other side, who is now tattooed on my arm, go ask Lucy for help. They are sharing with us how to be better people, better souls, to better to ourselves, better to our other people, better to our animal companions. Okay. Let's, I think that that covers everything. If not, you guys just give me the questions. They recognize the anxiety and stress a phone causes, so they download an app for anxiety and stress. Right, there you go. Uh, there's just one more thing I'm gonna say on that topic, and that is, I I don't want to use the word hate, it's a very strong word. I intensely dislike that I feel like I'm constantly being sold to. Somebody is always selling something, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. I don't even go on them anymore. Instagram, Facebook, whatever I don't even know what people, I know that Instagram and Facebook are probably, at least Facebook is kind of losing its popularity, but Pinterest, whatever, it doesn't matter. They're always trying to sell something. Every other thing that I look at is sponsored. Now, this comes from me, a person who uses that feature, but uses it for what I hope is something beautiful and good, and not become pay me $50,000 and you too can become a future millionaire. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. But anywho, yeah. So that's what I got from, they stress you out so that you go buy an app to de-stress. Interesting that as soon as I pick up my phone, Gypsy often leaves the room. She doesn't like it at all. So our animals are communicating with us, telling us exactly what really needs to do, like get outside and be with nature and be with your animals outside. We're coming. Yes, we are, Dana. We are becoming better people because of them. I know Phoebe was impacted by my grief after my dad and Hannah died. I kept working my energy, but still, they also are. This came through for Pudge too when I do Pudge's reading. they also are very aware of our grief, and they support us through it. They are often our rock, our stability when we're going through grief, but then sometimes they reflect back to us what we're feeling internally, not because it's we're doing something wrong. So we're so sad, we're so overwhelmed, and then we go, oh no, so I'm making my cat sick. Oh no, so there's my cat reflecting back to me. And what they're really doing is trying to help you through it. They're trying to help you see by mirroring back to you that this is what your stress is doing. If this is what your stress is doing to me, imagine what your stress is doing to you. And it helps us take a step back and go, oh, so maybe between the two of us, we can find a way to heal. Um, okay. We're becoming better people, 100%. I have become a better person, not only because of Jack and Lucy and Winston and Jake and Zoe and all the beautiful animal companions that I've been able to share life with, but from all of your beautiful animal companions. Every beautiful message that they've ever sent to me from the other side has helped me become a better person and has helped me. They inspire me. They inspire me. They light me up. I love to do this, like this right here on this video because of them. I love to do it because of them. All right, so let's talk about why the final moments haunt us. And even using that, like, is anybody else tired of these YouTube thumbnails that go, disaster awaits, watch this now or else, warning, warning, danger. And then you got some face going, oh, and it's just so over the top. Where I love delivering messages of pure joy. So I'm using the word haunt us because sometimes it does haunt us, but I'm hopefully going to let you come away with this, with a message that is inspiring and full of hope and healing and love, and a way to help you let go of that memory that keeps replaying in your mind over and over again. And I've got some pretty good ideas. I think I've got some pretty good ideas how to do that. So what are these? Many people experience this after the loss of an animal companion, and I lump myself right in with that. I've over a course of my life, from my childhood dog Peanuts right up till the beautiful last animal companion that crossed was Jack. All of those animal companions, I've always had some kind of looping thought, something about I should have, could have, would have done something differently. Sometimes now I don't have any real trauma flashback. There might be one. There might be one instance where if I had been aware of what was going on, but I wasn't. I flat out wasn't. It was right in the middle of my corporate years. And it was a beautiful dog named Bailey. I really did not see what was happening. I did not see what was happening. So I can, even now, so you can hear it in my voice, I can go back and replay that, and it brings me back. As soon as my mind goes to it, I flash back instantly. It took me to that moment in the driveway at my car, when Bailey bit me. And had I seen what was happening, I could have prevented the whole thing. I could have just stopped everything. But flashback, it took me instantly back to that moment. So our minds have this really wacko way of taking us back to a place that we don't necessarily want to be. But there we go. This little thing between our ears. What ifs, guilt ridden. Those are the things that really keep us stuck in the memory of the way that they crossed. And it brings us back to their passing. So the result of, I'm going to use Bailey as the example. Gosh, I don't ever talk about Bailey because it still brings up such deep emotions for me that I haven't totally worked through the healing of yet. It brought me, so when I think of the incident that ultimately resulted in her passing, that's what it brings me to. It brings me to the memory of her passing and how I could have prevented that had I been aware. And I don't remember exactly where I was going with that. I'm sorry, I don't remember. Just thinking about it now, that it brings me back to the day of her passing. I think, so we think about how they passed, when they passed, what they passed from, how much of it was our fault. We're always looking for blame. We look for blame, again, then that's not a judgment. We seek to blame somebody so that we can kind of ease our own guilt. We look to blame, and oftentimes it just gets reflected right back at us. I blame myself. Flat out, as simple as that. It was me. And had I done something differently, that whole situation could have changed. So how do we look? This is going to help me work through. I think even just thinking about this tonight, I haven't thought about Bailey in a long time. It might help me work through my last final memories of her. So our animals, um, I want you to think of these things as normal. When you're holding on to that memory, don't think of it as a judgment. Don't think of it as you're doing something wrong or that nobody else knows what you're going through. I would rather help you understand it as our human mind, our mind clings to unresolved things. So when we can't make sense of something, or when we know that there could have been a different outcome if we had only done something differently, that's an unresolved energy. It's an unresolved feeling. And our mind clings to that because we seek resolution. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm also a Libra, and in the tradition of Libras, but it suits me perfectly. It's all about the scales, and things have to be in balance. And when something is not in balance, I am literally freaking out. Oh, I forgot. My camera now doesn't like hand gestures. I try to keep my hands down here. But when something is not in balance, my insides are literally a jumble. I've got to do something and find a way to get things back into alignment again and back into balance. But again, I keep losing my train of thoughts. Somebody needed to hear that, so I said it. Unresolved emotional energy. So we are trying to we're trying to come to a resolution. Our mind is trying to fit it all together so that it stops this constant loop. And I think that we can do that. So I'd like to introduce the idea that our animal companions remember something completely different. They do not remember. They don't remember. Or part of what I'm going to say is that they don't remember that we weren't there for them. They remember us as always there for them. They don't remember that we missed something. They think that we gave them the best life, that we gave them amazing lives. We are the ones who think that we could have done it even better. They don't ever remember that part. They remember the joy that they had with us. And I'll give you some more examples of this in just a minute. They don't replay the pain like people do. They only replay the love. They replay the love over and over and over and over again. And when I can't wait to get the Pudge's reading to share some of that, they just love replaying. They love replaying the love because that love is what gets through to us. That is what we can begin to feel. And even if it's just a smidge of a feeling that gives us a sense of relief, that's the crack in the door. When there's a little crack in the door and they can get through, it's just going to keep on. It's like they put their paw in there and they're not taking it back. And they just keep pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing. And sometimes, especially dogs, they can be pretty strong. They're going to open that door for us. So we're the ones who inflict this pain of self-torture on ourselves. And we can ask our animal companions to help us how to relieve it, to show us how to relieve it. So what your soul pet wants you to know about their final moments, this applies to every single animal. This is what they want us to know about their final moments. They left in peace and not pain. No matter what, they left in peace and not pain. And they take it does not compute. It just doesn't compute. When we say, I hope that you were not in pain, I hope that you know how much you're loved, they're all going, well, of course I know how much I was loved. So they're left in peace. They felt your love, even if you were not physically present. A lot of the reason that we hang on to the final moment is because sometimes we weren't there. And we think that if we had just been there, something could have been done differently. Well, they felt your love, even if you weren't physically present. And that's because love transcends all time, all space. It does not know geography. It does not know the time of day. It does not know the difference between France and Florida. It does not matter if you were not present. Your love transcends everything. It's also the reason that we can connect with them on the other side of the veil, because there's no such thing as space. There's no such thing as distance. They're not off on a rainbow bridge that is so far up in the clouds and in the universe, at the back of the universe, way back of the universe, way back there where all the stars are that you can't possibly see. The rainbow bridge is right here. It's right here, right with us. So they felt your love, even if you weren't physically present, and they remember your lifelong devotion. They do not remember the moment of goodbye. They do not remember goodbye. You said goodbye. They didn't say goodbye. You're the one who may have said goodbye, safe journeys, rest in peace until we meet again. And they're gone. What do you mean until we meet again? I'm right here, right now, ready. And I will keep on trying to get through to you for as long as it takes me to get through to you. And I will keep on trying to help you heal until you are healed. And I will keep on teaching you what forgiveness is all about until you finally get the message. And it doesn't matter if it takes me 100 more years. That's what I'll do. So that's their perspective. That's the perspective of our beautiful soul companions. Okay, so what are some of the things that we can do? Let me just check. I'm going to check the time here. We're good for time. I'm going to check the comments real fast. The brain searches for the why. Okay. The 17th was 2 years since Phoebe crossed. Oh, no kidding. All right, Sherry. And boy, did that, right. It brings stuff up. It absolutely brings stuff up. I remember, Lucy and Winston are both coming up the first week of August. And it has been 5 years, 5 years, excuse me, since they crossed. But for them, Lucy especially, absolutely, there's nothing but beauty, absolute peace that comes through from her. Winston, I still joke with him a little bit. I still tease him that he left me stranded, kind of left me high and dry. But I say it now as a joke, like I say, and I can just feel him jumping into my lap, going, "I didn't leave you, Mama. I did not leave you." Even when you know it's coming, it's still a shock, always a shock. Okay, I'm just going to let you guys talk amongst yourselves about all that. Love is the currency of heaven. Oh, where Pockets is, oh, the beautiful Pockets. He's in heaven, and guess where heaven is? Right here, right now. Heaven is not some faraway place. Heaven is right here. We happen to be in the physical version, and all this storyline, this amazing play that we have written, in which we are playing a role, and the costume that we have chosen. Yeah, heaven is right here, and we can access it through them. Scout will be 7 years and 2 days. Okay. Charlie, right here, right now. Heaven is right here, right now. So how do we rewrite the ending? How do you shift that so that you can change the memory? And I'm going to do this for Bailey. It's not something that I have done for myself. In fact, I kind of pushed the passing of Bailey into a little box. So I have this like little compartment somewhere in here. I have this little compartment, and that's where Bailey resides. And maybe today is the day that we bring Bailey out of that little box and help heal that memory. So teach that trauma is, oh, that was my note to me. Teach that. Teach that trauma is stuck energy. So that's what I'm going to share with you. Trauma is stuck energy, and we retain it physically. Our body holds on to trauma. And I'm not just talking about the pet loss trauma. If we wanted to talk about trauma in general, look up trauma-informed care. And it is about helping people who've been through all kinds of trauma, whether it is a trauma from childhood, a trauma from being in the military, a trauma from a natural disaster. There's all kinds of things that cause trauma. And all of us have experienced some level of trauma. Our body internalizes that. And it's part of the reason that we share Reiki. And even there's so many other traditions, so many other practices that help release that trauma. But it's about finding that place in the body where you're holding it. So I know that I'm holding Bailey in the heart space. So Charlie, when you say that you have to work on your heart space, I've got a little piece of my own that needs to be worked on. And it can be shifted. There's a word called transmute. If you've ever heard of the word alchemy in the old days, like alchemy was about turning turning water into wine, turning something into gold. So I don't know, something that you would turn into gold. I can't remember what it was. Uh, but that's what alchemy is. Alchemy is just shifting the makeup of something so that it becomes something else. And you can do that with a couple different ways. The first one is through, so you are literally, I want you to think of this literally. You're literally going to rewrite the story. We have, and I'm throwing myself in there also, we human beings have a habit of telling a story, and we make it our story, and we will tell that story again and again and again. And sometimes someone will bring up a story of their own, and it'll remind us, oh wait, I've got that story, and I can one up you on that story, and we bring back up all that old crap. We just have this way of regurgitating bad stories. So how do you rewrite the ending? Literally transmute it, alchemize it, turning into something completely different. The first way is by remembering that our animal companions don't remember it that way. You're the one who remembers it that way. I do love to literally visualize that when our animal companion crosses, that it's peace. They are going to a place that we wish we could be in with them. That's a place of pure peace, pure light, pure love. And I also like to think about reunion. So they're in a place now where we can be reunited. And won't that be so wonderful when we are reunited? And reunited, I mean physically able to take them back into our arms again. We talk about everything here. I talk about Winston jumping into my lap and the feel of him cuddling right by my neck. I know that there is a beautiful little animal companion here named Scout, who I felt jump from one of you guys, who I felt jump on my chest one night. It was so clear, and it was just so clear. But I'm talking about that reuniting when we leave the physical body and go back into our beautiful, energetic, complete soul, and what it will be like to be reunited then, complete reunited, like the perfect love. It'll be so amazing. You can also use affirmations. Now, affirmations, I think, are something that is something overly, it seems to be like a cop out almost when people say, oh, just say an affirmation. I am abundance. I am love. I am perfect just the way I am. I am there. And there are things that you can repeat to yourself, and they do help you rewire your brain. It is part of neuroscience, and affirmation is a great way to do that, but they're not a panacea. It's not a cure-all. It's something that you have to really believe, and you have to say it with belief. Which what I write things on my mirror. You guys know this. In my bathroom mirror back there, I have a dry erase marker, and I will write my affirmations on it. Like I have a what's the one that I wrote this morning was that my body is fully functional and pain-free, and I am athletic, strong. But I get up in the morning, and when I see that, I'm like, damn straight I am. So you can do those kinds of things with affirmations, but it has to be in a way that you really believe it. So you can, here's a couple affirmations that I thought of. You were not alone. You were not alone. And I love this one because you guys know I've said this before, that there's only a part of your soul that inhabits the physical suit that you're wearing right now. The biggest, greater part of your soul is on the other side and was there to greet them when they crossed. So you can always hold that in your mind too, that it didn't matter how. They don't remember the how. It didn't matter how your animal companion crossed. What matters is that you were there. You were there waiting for them on the other side. You were there waiting for them. And you can repeat, you are deeply loved. You were deeply loved. You are deeply loved. You will be forever loved. You can repeat those things. You can write them down. You know, I'm all about writing. You can write them down. You can just repeat them to yourself over and over again. You can make yourself a voice note in your phone and play it back to yourself. There are any ways that you can use those affirmations in a way that is meaningful and that is not just an empty affirmation. And then the last thing that I want to recommend for this is one that I recommend all the time. No, I've thought of one more thing. I wrote down a little side note here. I've brought up Neville Goddard before. Neville Goddard is an old-timey, like I want to say 40s, 50s, 60s. I think he passed away in the 70s. But he was a spiritual not guru, he wouldn't even want to be called a guru, but he would hold like seminars that people would go to just to help them become better at creating the life that they want, the life of their dreams. Neville Goddard, Goddard, I think is how you spell that, Neville. And Neville Goddard is he was a huge teacher of literally rewriting something that you happened. So if there's something that you think was unhappy in your life, he would tell you, then sit down and write out the ending that you wanted to happen. Sit down and write out the way you wished that it would have gone. And then just repeat that to yourself over and over again. And pretty soon your memory will change and it will become the memory that you wanted it to be. So he was, if you want to look up his techniques, he had several different techniques for how you can rewrite the ending for literally anything. Anything that you want to change your memory about, you can do so. And then flip the coin. That was the other thing I thought about. Flip the coin. Flip the coin is think about what your pet is knowing. Like this is your memory of it. And then just go, wait a minute, what am I thinking? No, my home was so full of love. I loved that cat more than anything in the whole wide world, and I will not ever forget that. And so you just kind of flip the coin on that. I want to share one more thing. I always, you guys know I do automatic writing. I was scrawling little notes because things keep coming to me all the time. I got a note, a comment from someone on one of the videos that said, and I'm sorry, I apologize if it was one of you guys. I'm going to come back to you. I see you, Cheryl. Hang on tight. That said, I was looking for a sign that my animal companion was not alone. They just crossed, like it had just happened within the past couple of days. I was looking for a sign that they weren't alone, and I asked for that sign, and I was inspired to go to my photo album and take out a picture, and the picture that I chose showed my mom in the background with her hand resting on my dog. Look, it makes me choke up a little bit now. And she said, I just knew that my mom had been there waiting for my dog on the other side, and it brought me such a sense of peace. So that's another way that you can help release the trauma, release a traumatic memory, is by knowing that they were not alone. And then, of course, there is the practice of Ho'oponopono, the practice of forgiveness. Now, forgiveness, I'm going to tell you I'm not going to go into depth about Ho'oponopono. I've done many videos on it before, and I'll probably do another one on it. Ho'oponopono. It is the Hawaiian practice of forgiveness. That is one word, pono meaning to make right with nature. And when you say it twice, it means to make doubly right. So the word to make pono, to make doubly right with nature. And we have translated it into the English language to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. You can say those words to yourself, and when you say them with feeling, when you say them with intention, you can picture, so I'm going to picture Bailey in my mind right now. Bailey, a beautiful Chesapeake Bay Retriever. I'm going to picture Bailey in my mind, and I'm going to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Look, okay, it's going to make me cry. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you, I love you. And there's a million things that go along with that. I'm sorry for the things I did. I'm sorry for the things I didn't do. I'm sorry for the things I didn't see. Please forgive me from the bottom of your heart. Please forgive me. Forgive me for all the things that I could have, should have, would have done. And then I accept that forgiveness and I say, thank you. Thank you. I accept the forgiveness. And Bailey's just gone, but there is nothing to forgive. Thank you, and I love you. That seals the deal right there. I love you. Now, if you have trouble with all of those words, I sometimes like the feeling of the phrase Ho'oponopono. It's like saying abracadabra. There's something magical about the word Ho'oponopono. So just say H-O. Ho'oponopono is all I'm saying. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. It gives me chills just to say that word. There's another word that I also like. It's a Japanese word. It's arigato. You might have heard it. It translates to thank you. In the English language, thank you has become a throwaway. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Gratitude, appreciation, they all mean things, but there's something magical about a word that can't be translated. It really can't be translated. Arigato. Arigato. arigato, arigato. And gato actually being Spanish for cat, but arigato. There's just something magical about that phrase too, if you wanted to just say thank you to your animal companion. So what do we do for self-forgiveness? I'm going to go back and check your comment in a minute, Cheryl. Explore self. I can see all the comments scrolling by out of my peripheral vision. Exploring self-forgiveness is about forgiving yourself for not knowing, forgiving yourself for not doing more, forgiving yourself for the choices you made, just letting go of that, forgiving if you were always feeling rushed or stressed, all that, and forgive whoever, forgive yourself, forgive the veterinarian, forgive family, forgive your pet, like that's what me and Winston went through. Forgive your pet, forgive God, forgive the universe, just forgive. It's like lifting a giant leaded vest off of you. It's gone. Like this weight just flies away. So forgiveness. And the next step I'm gonna give you is sending out a telepathic SOS, but then we're gonna get to Pudge's reading. But first, let me go back here. Elaine, I have an indoor camera and night Mew Mew transition. I saved the part of the video with me holding him and lightly rocking him, and you can see him gasping. I watched it. And won't delete it. Oh, I watched it last week and won't delete it. No, don't delete it. I think I don't have any. I do have pictures. I did take pictures of for both Jack and Lucy. I don't need to go back and look. Like I just don't. I personally don't feel that like a compulsion to do that. But I also would not delete them. There isn't anything that would ever have me delete those pictures and videos. Videos of Gary after his seizures. Okay. All right. And I'll let you guys talk amongst yourselves about that. So hard. I feel such a visceral pain. Yeah. It's physical. It's absolutely physical, because they are everything. I totally understand. 7-year anniversary of your mom's death. Oh my goodness. It's interesting how those coincidences happen. It's so interesting how those things happen. And even my Jack's crossing coinciding with my dad's, and yeah, okay. Anyway, okay, so yay for Pudge. So excited to hear about your reading. But all right, we're going to get to Pudge in 2 minutes. Sending a telepathic SOS. This is the other way to help you let go of a repeating memory. So we are talking about healing the final memory, the memory of their final passing. I call it an SOS. Send out an SOS. It is so easy when you're feeling it. So let's just say I'm going to go with Cheryl looking at the video, and all of a sudden your heart is like in a million pieces. You've watched that video and you can't bring yourself to delete it, but it's bringing back all of these memories that you didn't think you even still had or that you wanted to have. Send out an SOS when you are feeling the emotional overwhelm. You can just say, Winston, oh, please, Gary, please. I need something right now because my heart is just falling apart. And invite them to send a message. Just say, like, I just need a little help letting go of this pain. I thought it was over it, but it's so fresh again. Please help me remember the love and not the loss. I love that mantra also. Please help me remember the love and not the loss. Remember the love and not the loss, the love and not the loss. Remember the love, remember the love, remember the love. That's all I want is to remember the love. And you just let them come in. I mean, it's literally, it's like a bat signal. You're sending out the bat signal on the sky, and they're hearing you loud and clear, and they will come to your rescue. Okay, so that's what I had. Let me just make sure that I've gotten everything that I want to share with you about how to let go, how to transmute, how to shift, how to rewrite the ending, how to rewrite the ending so that it's something that becomes more positive, beautiful, and loving. And I think that I got everything. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's what I would like to do. If anybody wants to share how they would like to rewrite their ending, feel free to put it in the comments. Like after I upload this video, it'll go and become like part of the library of videos. I would love to hear your stories, or go ahead and maybe I can create a post. I think I can do that in the comment section. I mean, in the community section, and you guys can share if there's anything that you would like to share about how you would rewrite your story. Okay, here we go. Here's Pudge. Um, I say, no, I want to remember the happy times and the love. It helps. It doesn't completely fix it, but it helps. And the more you repeat the mantra, they want to come to your rescue. They literally want to come to your rescue wearing a cape, flying right in. They see the SOS and they want to come flying right in and just wrap you in a virtual hug from the other side and let you know that everything is okay. Everything is okay. This is temporary. What we're going through right here is so temporary. It's what's on the other side that is real and for true and forever. So my connection with Pudge. All right, Pat, this is for you and also for your son and Pudge. I got this time around. So I normally, when I do these little readings, I ask for I ask for messages, but beyond messages, I ask for feelings, and beyond feelings, I ask for to use my senses. Show me, let me see, let me hear, let me taste, anything physical that I can share that will let us know that it's Pudge coming through. And what I got this time was not so much through my senses. It was deep feelings and impressions. And if for those of you who aren't familiar, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was inspired to do a reading live for Pudge. And as you guys know, like my phone died, the other phone, like, and all my video, I'm still holding on to this because somehow we're going to get it fixed. All my little videos are on there. But I did a reading right here on this channel for Pudge, and it turned out to be for Charlie's Nico. Like everything that Pudge said, everything, almost every last little thing. Pat's gone, that's not Pudge, it must be somebody else. And Charlie's gone, Nico, Nico. So that was so interesting that Pudge literally, this is the phrase he gave me, that he gave up his seat. I gave my seat away. He literally gave up his seat and allowed the message to come through for Nico because somebody needed to hear it. And Pudge knew that everybody would be okay with that. That's just what I knew that right away, even before I did this particular reading. All right, so let me share with you what came through. Pudge came through to me, as I mentioned, not with the physical sensations I normally get. I normally get really physical sensations, but with a presence would be the best word for it. Like he was fully present with me. It was deliberate, like a very deliberate presence that he wanted me to be aware of. And the old soul, the feeling of being a very old soul. He did not rush through anything. He was very steady. He was very grounded. And I got the word protector, not aggressive in any way, but I got the word protector. Like he watched everything. He watched everything. He knew when somebody needed something even before you knew that you needed it. But that sense of watching, like literally, he watched everything. He was never just the dog. Then he did give me a very strong feeling, but I got, again, even though I saw this, I knew that it was more of a metaphor than a physical thing, and it was anchor. I mean, I clearly saw anchor, and it was anchoring, that Pudge was your son's anchor, that he was so steady and steady. That's the other word that came through. An anchor, strong, steady. He was able to carry emotional weight. So this goes deeper than I normally get. So I'm just praying that it's all okay, because I don't like to. I have no idea what some people's circumstances are. I just sensed emotional weight, that there was a lot of emotional weight, and that it was Pudge who carried that weight. Give it to me. I can carry it. I can carry it all. He was capable of carrying, and he did. He just carried all kinds of things. He mentioned, let me feel, he even mentioned, like, there's no voice going on in the back of my mind. I just get a sense of knowing something that wasn't there before. That, and I'm going to keep saying your son. I don't remember, Pat, I know that you know what I mean. That your son thought that his passing was unfair. Like, it's just not fair. That's what came through. Like Pudge was hearing the words, it's just not fair. And that he said it's not true, that that you did more than he ever needed. Everything he could have ever asked for, everything he ever needed was taken care of. And then there was another sensation that I'm trying to find the right words for it, that he loved you even when you felt you couldn't love yourself. And I find that so true for all of our animal companions. They don't judge us ever. They love us no matter what, even when we feel that we've done something that we're not deserving of love for anymore. They even when we think that we can't love ourselves, they love us no matter what. They love us regardless. So that's why I thought there were some really deep symbolic things coming through from Pudge. Um, then let's see what else came through. So I did ask for some signs and confirmations. Although it started out on this with some deep messages, it came up again, and I think this came up the last time about music and drumming and creation and creativity. There's something there because it came up again pretty strong, that Pudge reacts to music. So there is it's either a song or a musical. There's some kind of music like that was of lower tones, repetitive, like a drum beat or a hum. There's some form of music that really that his spirit reacts to, and as soon as that song is played, Pudge is right there. He is right there all the time for that. And I got the sense that that your son talks to Pudge all the time when nobody's around. That your son will talk to Pudge when he thinks that nobody's listening, but Pudge is listening. Pudge hears every word, and he hears every word, and he wants to be talked to. He wants to be talked to. Um, he wants your son to talk to him and recognize that he's still there, because he is still there. Then the other thing that came up, the next thing that came up, because I asked for like something concrete, was about furniture and rules. Like, you know how some people have rules that their dog's not allowed on the bed? I can't even imagine. I'm the person who gets a smidge of bed and the dogs get the whole rest. Um, there was some kind of rule about the furniture in the beginning. I got a sense that this was in the beginning, that there was a rule about the furniture, that he wasn't supposed to sit somewhere, or he wasn't supposed to have that chair, or he wasn't supposed to be, but that was his spot, and he was so proud of it. So proud of his spot. That was his. And it was always his, and it will always be his. And that's where he still is. Like if you still have that piece of furniture, whatever it is, if you know what I'm talking about, Pat, he's so proud of it. And that's the picture that he gave to me. About his passing, he wanted to say that he waited for the time that was kindest. So this goes back to the feeling that it was unfair, like that it's not fair that he left. It's not fair that I don't have him anymore. I got the feeling that he waited for a moment that was the kindest that he could. And I really didn't understand if that was like the moment of his passing, waiting for that moment, or if it was a decision that had to be made or a moment, but I just know that he was operating from a place of complete compassion and wanting to make sure that everything was done at the kindest possible moment. And then I'm going to get to all the comments in just a second. I see him scrolling by. Other messages. It's okay to be vulnerable. These were the actual messages. So these are for your son, Pat. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to show affection. Like it's just okay to show affection, and you don't have to feel guilty about petting another dog. That came up clear as a bell. Like every time, if you pet another dog, and sometimes you go, oh gosh, I shouldn't feel like drawn to this dog because I remember Pudge. Nope, there's no guilt for petting another dog or for showing affection. And then I got a sense of him on your chest. And I don't know if it's just you or you and your son. I'm using the word you, but that when he comes through, if you breathe and be calm and be quiet, you will feel him on your chest is what came through. So I don't know if like he did that one time. I could picture somebody laying on a sofa and Pudge jumping up with all of his Pudgeness and and being okay, but that's what I felt like, this heavy, but a happy, joyful, beautiful, heaviness on your chest. And that's where you'll feel him now. But I also got the image of him always lying at your feet from now on forever, always lying at your feet. And that's what he's doing. Still the protector, still steady, still listening, still there. And last but not least, I want to share this one little thing. I got a sense that that he enjoyed working with me, that he enjoyed not this little bit, he enjoyed having Nico come through, and that I'm welcome to call on him at any future time should I need help getting messages from other animal companions or yeah, that's what I just got a sense that he enjoyed helping another human heal. So that was the message. All right, let me go back and check these messages. Um, see Nancy's question. Okay, let me scroll back up. He would listen to music. Okay, we both talked to him. Beautiful. My son's aunt would not let him roam the house. I let him have my recliner. Well, there you go. It's a chair. It was, I mean, literally what came through was a chair. I wrote rules about the furniture, that he was not supposed to be there, but it became his spot, and he was very proud of his chair. He was very proud of his chair. Um, we feel guilty about thinking about getting another dog. Please don't. He used to sleep on my son's chest. There you go. Thank you, Pudge. Thank you, Pudge, for coming through. And I am going to scroll back up to Nancy Welsh. Okay, hold on. Let's scroll back. Scroll back to Nancy. Nancy. Okay. My beautiful 12-year-old Newfie, Lakey, is suddenly really struggling. I can usually talk to her, but right now I can't seem to make the connection. Do you feel she's ready? Oh, Nancy, we'd have to talk separately about that kind of offline. And hi, Ella. It's good to see you. That's a question that really, there's a lot more to it than just that question. You'll know, in fact, if you know to ask that question, you're probably already getting some insight, and you can usually talk to her. But Nancy, send me an email to send it to readformypet@gmail.com. Read, READ, number 4, my pet, readformypet@gmail.com. And let's see if we can talk about that offline. It's a really deep question that would take a long time for us to talk through, but that could be our topic for next week. I know that's not going to help you right now, Nancy. But how do you know if the time has come? You have to go with what's in your heart. And usually you do get some kind of your animal companion will let you know in some way that it's time. They'll give you a look if they're really struggling, but usually it's a decision that you talk to her, your veterinarian, and decide if that is the time, but a much deeper conversation. Okay, let's see what else we got. Thank you, Sharon. I appreciate that. You're very welcome, Pat. Okay. Intuition and heart says yes, but it says no. I've not tried hard to find her great. Okay, so I'll let you guys talk about that. Nancy, please feel free to reach out to me by email, and let's see if we can't connect and I can help you answer that question. Okay, my friends, have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful week. I look forward to talking again next week. And until then, may animals light your way. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye. There we go. See ya.